My friends, we are back. Hello. I'm so thankful that you are here. Today, we are going to be continuing on working on math that will really help prepare you for your GED test or your HiSET test. And so, you all loved last week so much that we're doing it again, and we're going to try and do as many lives as we can because it's a great way to connect with our community and just have a little bit of fun, right? Okay, so we are going to be working on integers again. And integers, as a reminder, are positive and negative numbers. Okay, it's just a fancy way to call them. Say integers and it just makes you sound fancy. Okay, so positive and negative numbers. Last week we focused on multiplying and dividing positive and negative numbers, which I'm not gonna lie is actually just a little bit easier. But this time we're going to be doing adding and subtracting negative numbers. But before we get started, I want you to comment down below and tell me, where are you watching this from? Looks like we've got our friend here from California. And where else are you from? Comment down below. I would love to find out. Okay. So before we start on integers, we are going to go with, I'm going to draw the number line, okay? It's just going to make things a little bit easier. Oh, Mississippi, I love it. Welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. Okay, so this is going to be our number line, okay? And we're going to put the 0 right here in the middle. And whenever we go positive, we're going to go to the right, okay? So I want you to remember positive means to the right. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll just put a little 5 right there. Looks like we also have a friend, Sarah from Texas and Martha from Los Angeles. So glad you're here. Okay, on the left is, whenever we go to the left, it's subtracting, okay? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so this is negative 5. Okay, oh, and Connecticut, I love this. I'm so glad that you're all here. So when we are adding and subtracting negative numbers, I want you to think about it as money, because we can understand money, right? We add money to our pockets when we earn money or somebody gives us money, and then we take money out when we are paying something or giving money away. Okay, so that sometimes helps us remember what we're doing here. Oh, we've got another folks from Washington. Oh, I love this. I love this. Hi, greetings and blessings. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's practice. Okay, so I'm going to say 5 minus 2. Okay, we know how to do this, right? It's not hard. It's not hard. But let me show you with this. So I'm going to say 5, and then remember, we go to the left when we minus. Okay, whenever I say minus, subtract, same thing. Okay, so 5, and then I pay $2, and now I'm at 3, right? So 5 minus 2 is 3. But let's do another one. Let's say negative 5 plus 2. Okay, so this time, let's say I owe you $5. Okay, so I owe you $5, and right now I have $2 that I'm going to give to you. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to add 2. So when I add 2, I know that I go this way, right? So I'm going to go negative 5 plus 2 is now negative 3. Okay, negative 3. Ah, look at this, Kelby. Awesome, awesome, great. So negative 3. Let's do a couple of others, okay? And we're going to make this harder as we go on. But as I'm writing a couple, I want you to comment and tell me, are you taking the GED or the HiSET? Okay, just 2 different tests. Which one are you taking? All right, and I'm going to erase this top part, and I'm going to show you another way as well, because sometimes people learn this concept just a little bit differently. Okay, so this time we're going to say negative 3 minus 1. Okay, so this is looking a little bit, oops, you can't even see it. Let me try that again. Okay, -3 minus 1. Okay, -3 minus 1. So we've got a HiSET. Awesome, awesome. This is one of the most important concepts for the HiSET. And Nadine here is taking her GED. Fantastic. Okay, so we're at -3. So I'm going on my number line. I have -3. And I'm subtracting 1, right? And when we're subtracting, we go this way. So think about it. I owe a dollar, or no, I owe $3, and then I have to pay another dollar, right? So all of that is money that is leaving my pocket, and now I'm out, right? So yes, -4 is the answer. Okay, we're gonna do one more like this. So we're going to say -7 minus 3. Okay, so it's not on the number line. It goes a little bit past my number line. See if you can figure it out. Type the answer in the chat. -7 minus 3. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit longer. 5, 6, 7. So I'm starting off right here. And then am I going left, -3, or am I going right, -3? Put it in the chat. What is the answer? I'm going left, right, because it's negative. So 1, 2, 3, and I get here -10 as my answer. Light bright, you said -4, close, close. But because we have a -7, so I already owe $7, and now I have to owe $3 more. That's less money that I have, right? And now I owe $10 instead of just owing $3, or instead of just owing, now I owe $10 instead of owing $7 or owing $3. Oh my goodness, look at this. We've got someone here from the Mediterranean, Europe. Oh my goodness, it's like the middle of the night for you. That's crazy. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so I'm going to show you a different way to do this. Okay, so I'm going to erase this here, and we're going to try it without this. Okay, so this time no number line, but we can still do it. You have to just sort of think about it. It's not like when we're multiplying and dividing, where we have easy numbers that we just know when we multiply or divide a negative and a positive, it's a negative, or a positive and a negative, it's a negative, or a negative and a negative, it's a positive. So this, you just have to really think about what's going on. And so I really like when these are word problems, because then it gives it purpose. So we're going to turn this question that I have into a word problem to make it so that we can understand it just a little bit better. Okay? All right. So this time we're going to say that I have a positive $10, but we know that we normally don't even put positive, right? So I have a positive $10, and then I am going to buy something that is $12, right? So then I'm going to subtract $12. What am I going to buy that's $12? Let's say I'm going to buy some groceries, okay? But I don't have, don't buy things unless you have the money for it, right? That's for another lesson, which is actually really important. We'll get to that later. But so we have 10 minus 12. So there are two ways that you can do this. You can go in your brain, think about the number line, and go past the number line and get to that -2, right? So the answer is -2. But one way that I always like to do it is think about which number is the bigger number. The bigger number is the 12, right? The 12 is the bigger number. So I can do this just a little bit backwards, and I can say that I know my answer is going to be negative, and if I put the 12 up here and the 10 down here, and I know the answer is negative, so I'm not even going to put the negative right there because I don't want to mess it up with you. So I know that 12 is negative, so it's a negative. So 12 minus 10 is 2, and there's the negative. Okay, so there are two different ways that you can do it. Okay, actually 3 different ways. So let's do another set. While we do this other set, tell me, let's see, what last time we asked what sort of math concepts would you like to know? I want to know, how are you feeling about the essay? Okay, the GED or the HiSET essay. How is that making you feel? Is there something that you want me to cover with the HiSET essay, okay, or GED essay? So as I'm erasing, do that. Okay, so this time we are going to go with 15, negative 15 minus a minus 4. Okay. Minus a minus. Okay. Or else you could say subtract a minus. Okay. Again, minus, minus, subtract, all the same thing. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So when we minus a minus, remember we talked about minus goes this way, right? Minus goes to the left. But then, but it's not just a minus, it's a minus, which actually it turns it backwards. I mean, it turns it completely upside down, right? So what it's actually going to do is it's going to turn it into a plus. So I'm going to have negative 15 plus 4 instead of minus 4. Okay? So negative 15 plus 4. So imagine your line, and we're at negative 15. So if I owe $15 and then I pay $4 of the 15 that I owe, how much do I have in debt now? Type it in the chat. How much do I owe? If I had 15, yes, negative 11. So negative 11. So whenever you see the minus a minus, that means it's going to be plus, okay? And so usually those mathematicians, they don't like to have two signs right in a row, okay? They don't like that. So that's why they put it in the parentheses, okay? Give me some hearts if you're enjoying this video and you'd like me to continue doing videos like this. Give me some hearts, show me some love. And let's do a couple more. All right, this time, oh, look at that. I feel so loved. Thank you. Thank you for those love marks. Okay, so this time we are going to say a positive 15 minus a minus 6. Okay, what is the answer? Type the answer in the chat. What is the answer? 15 minus a minus 6. Is it going to be positive or negative? Yes, yes, look at that. So 15 minus a minus 6. So our minus a minus 6 becomes a plus 6, right? Just like we said before. So 15 plus 6 is going to be a positive what? Yes, comment in the chat. What is it? A positive 21. Yes, yes, you got it. You got it. Okay, last one. Last one that I do, and then we're going to do what you guys want to do for our last one. Okay, this time we're going to say negative 10 minus a minus 4. Okay, type in the chat. What's the answer? Oh, we'll go like that because mathematicians don't like the signs next to each other. What's the answer? Negative 10 minus a minus 4. Okay, so the minus a minus turns it into a plus, right? So we're going to have negative 10 plus 4. So I'm going to just draw out our line again. Not quite. It's not positive 14, right? Because this one's negative and this one's positive. So which number is bigger? The 10, right? The 10 is bigger. And so is the 10 positive or negative? It's negative, right? So because the 10 is negative, we want to make sure that our answer is going to be negative, right? So then we just go like 10 minus 4, which is negative 6, okay? All right, so I've got the calculator here, okay? I've got the big version and the little version. It's really important that you know how to do this on the calculator. If you're taking the HiSET test, you get to use the calculator the whole time. Yay! If you're taking the GED, you only get the calculator for half the time. And these types of questions would definitely be the type where you don't get to use a calculator. So really make sure that you think about it like money. Okay. So again, if I owe $10 and then I pay $4 toward my debt, how much do I owe? -6. Okay. So really just don't rush through this. Just pause and think about, what are we asking? Okay, what is the question asking? And even if you need to make up your own problem, make up your own story problem so that it has meaning, do that. Okay. But back to our calculator. So when you take the test online, it might look a little bit, the calculator won't look exactly like this, but there will be a negative button. Okay. So the negative button is right here. So if I wanted to type in this and this question right here, I would type -10, and then I would say minus, right? Because this is our regular minus sign, minus a -4, enter, and that would give me my -6, okay? Or if we wanted to type in how it's written like this, I would clear it, right? Clear your answers. I would go -10 plus 4, enter. Okay, really make sure you know how to use this calculator. It'll make a huge, huge difference because when you go and take the test, you'll be familiar with how to use a calculator. Okay, I am open to doing one question. Tell me what you want me to do. Okay, one math question. First math question to pop up is what we will do. And I'm waiting, waiting. Math question. I'm just so thankful that you all are here. You're working hard, you're dependent. Show me, not dependent, you're committed, committed to getting this done. I'm so proud of you. So what I want to do is I want to know, when are you taking the math test? Are you going to be taking the math test soon? Or will it be a little while before you take your math test? Okay, inequality. So I'm going to make up an inequality question because um, Ray Rod, I don't know how to say your name, but 9768 says inequality. So we're going to do a quick inequalities question as our bonus question for this video. So inequalities are going to be when you have, oh, what is the name of the calculator? This is the TI-30XS. And this is the one, if you're taking the HiSET or the GED in person, it's probably, depending upon your state, this is probably the calculator that they'll give to you to take the test if the test proctor gives you an actual calculator. If not, there is the calculator on the test that you can use, but sometimes the calculators will even be yellow. That'll show that it's a calculator that's used by a school or something like that. But this is, you can buy this, I think it's like 15-20 bucks. You can buy it on Amazon or on just Walmart, Staples. It's a pretty inexpensive calculator, but you want to make sure that you know how to use this, especially the fractions. For those of you on the HiSET, for sure know how to do the fractions. Then you don't have to study fractions quite as much as those of you on the GED. Okay, and then this button here, toggle button, another important button. I actually have a whole calculator video that you might want to check out. Okay, but let's take a look at the inequalities. Okay, so can you sell pencil and paper? Absolutely, absolutely. They will give you pencil and paper if you're taking it in person. If you're taking it online, they they'll probably like you can have your pencil and paper. You can't have a calculator if you're taking the test at home. You'll just have to use the online calculator, but they'll you'll just like have to show them that, oh, I have nothing on here. But online, taking the test online makes it a little bit tricky. Taking the test at home makes it a little bit tricky. I joke that if your cat walks in the room, your test is done. Okay, so if you have the opportunity to take it at a testing center, it I think is a much better option. And I know that in some states it'll actually save you money because you have to pay an additional proctoring fee if you're taking the test at home. Whereas if you're taking it in a testing center, that fee you might not have to take. And some states like New York, you get to take the test for free completely. Other states charge a little bit, other states charge a lot. It just depends upon where you're at. Okay, so inequalities. So an inequality is going to be like this. Okay, and I'm actually going to be having a video coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow, the video that I'm posting is using inequalities with word problems. So definitely make sure that you check out that video that I'm posting tomorrow. Okay, so let's say I have X and then I have 10. Okay, so this gets a little elementary, but it's so much fun and it's an easier way to remember it. Okay, so this is an inequality, and this means X is less than 10. So it's any number. I mean, we could draw our number line, right? And here's 10, and X could be any number that's smaller than 10. Okay, but sometimes people like to draw the little shark teeth. Okay, or maybe when you were younger, you called it like the alligator. Did you call it an alligator or a shark? Tell me, comment below. Okay, so remember the alligator is really hungry, right? And the alligator is going to want to eat the bigger number. So that's how you remember that the 10 is going to be bigger than X. So X is going to be over here. Okay, let's switch markers and do it with a different one. Okay. So now we're going to say that X is greater than 5. Okay, let's say greater than or equal to. Okay, so there's two little signs right there. Okay, so we have to draw those teeth. Because the X, it's hungry, right? It wants to eat the bigger number. So we know then the X is going to be the bigger number. Bigger or greater than or equal to, because it has that line underneath it. Okay, now if you ever have a test question where it wants to have it kind of like this, I'm going to put my 5 just right here. Okay, so notice here how it took me two motions, I guess you could say, to draw that inequality, right? I went like this, step 1, right? And this, step 2. So if you have to do a circle and highlight it, here's my trick, okay? So 2 steps. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle, step 1, and then I'm going to fill it in because that means it's or equal to, okay? So in this case, X is greater than or equal to. Now, we know that if it's greater than, it always goes to the right, okay? Or if it's less than, it goes to the left. So here, it's going to the right, okay? Now, notice this one. It says X is less than. How many steps does it take to draw this? We go 1 step, right? And except for the teeth, right? But let's not. That doesn't count in this. Okay, so we have 1 step. So we draw a circle, an open circle, 1 step. Okay, and I think that maybe we could actually do a whole video, a whole live video on this. But that's all we've got for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I love having these lives. I think that it's a real highlight to me to be able to teach with you in a couple of weeks. I'm actually going to be doing several live videos where I'm going to actually have it on Zoom. It'll be a webinar, and it's really going to focus on the essay. Okay, but you have to pre-register and just keep your eye out. I'm so excited for these webinars. Okay, so it'll be a master class where I'll really focus in on the essay, and I'll offer it a couple different times. But keep your eye out for that. It's going to happen in just a couple weeks. But until then, thank you so much for being in here. Make sure that you believe in yourself. I believe in you. I know that you're going to pass. I just know it. But you have to keep practicing and practicing. Thank you for sending me all the love, and I'm sending all of my love back to you all. Have a beautiful evening, or our friend in Europe, have a good day, a good morning, and I'll catch you guys in our next live video. But definitely tomorrow, watch out for the video where I do a few word problems. We're not going over this, but we are doing a little bit of inequality. So, my friends, thank you so much, and I will catch you in our next video. Peace and God bless.